and welcome back to BizJet TV. It's Fab Poli, and today we're going to talk about the pilot shortage. Or is there a pilot shortage? Well, interestingly, Boeing and Airbus have teamed up, and they say that by 2035, we're going to need as many as 617,000 new pilots. 617,000, yes. That's a very, very high number. Where are these pilots going to come from, and where are they going to be needed? Well, most of these pilots are going to be needed in the Asia-Pacific region. Talk about 248,000 just in that region alone. And we see this at the recent air show in Farnborough, where, you know, a lot of airlines went in and ordered aeroplanes. That most of the orders, about 60% of the orders, are coming from airlines in that region. So, what is the problem? Now, the problem with the pilot shortage, if there is a pilot shortage, and I don't really think there is one, but, you know, people are saying that, for example, in the United States now, the retirement age for a pilot flying commercial is 65. Then they've hired the minimum number of hours for a first officer in an airline to 1,500 hours. So that's obviously restricting recruitment. Greg Muccio is a senior manager of Southwest Airlines. He said the biggest problem is a general lack of interest in folks pursuing this as a career anymore. So there seems to be less people interested, according to Southwest Airlines, people less interested in joining and having this as a career. A study released by North Dakota and the University of Nebraska, Omaha, released in 2015, they said the top 3 reasons that US aspiring pilots are changing their career plans is, number 1, the cost of flight training, number 2, the low pay at regional carriers, and number 3, the regulatory change that mandated a 6-fold increase in flight hours, meaning the 1,500-hour minimum mark. This is really what's happening. It's not only happening in the US. In the UK, a number of airlines now, from British Airways to EasyJet, Virgin Atlantic, but even JetBlue in the United States now, are starting to pay for training. So what they do is they hire people out of high school or university, and they pay for all their pilot training. And this is starting to happen again as well. In China, this is happening too, where the airlines are going into high schools, and also in the Middle East, this is happening. But let's go into the BizJet scenario, because this is BizJet TV. So how is this going to affect the business jet owner? Well, I certainly see a lot of movement in the pilot market now. A lot of buddies of mine around the world, if they're not in a situation where they've got a good job, where they're paid well, treated well by their boss, and have enough time off, they are constantly looking around and jumping ship. Now, if you're buying a private jet, you don't want this to happen. You have to bear in mind now, there is a shortage, let's say, of experienced people. So if you are going to spend 30, 40, $50 million on a private jet, you want some experienced guys flying you around. The experienced guys will keep you safe, but in order to attract and retain those experienced guys, you're going to have to give them a good balance of money and time off. Otherwise, you know, these airlines are going to lure them back. And we have seen a number of private jet operators around the world lose pilots to the airlines because the airlines have been offering more money and also stable roster pattern, which sometimes doesn't happen when you're flying private. So there is a bit of a pilot shortage. I think the shortage is more of experienced people. I still see a lot of the flight schools don't seem to be suffering from bringing people in, even though they say there are less people that want to become pilots, but this is what they're saying. But I still see the flight schools full of young people, you know, loaded with $150,000 to become pilots and going through the training. Probably not enough to what we're going to need. Boeing are now doing experiments with introducing single pilot operations on airliners. This is looking to be coming, and I've talked about this before, in the next 5 to 10 years, where airliners will be operated by one pilot and one form of artificial intelligence. But, you know, right now, as a business jet owner, you need to be thinking, or if you're thinking of buying your own private jet, you need to be thinking also about the pilots. And as I always say, when you buy a private jet, you have to look at the whole thing from a holistic standpoint. It's not just the airplane, it's the maintenance, and it's also who's going to fly you. You need to look at that. And I always encourage people to not hire necessarily people that are experienced on type, but also look at hiring some experienced pilots, and then if they haven't got the qualification on that particular aircraft, to go out and pay for that qualification. The pilot will appreciate that you've done that for him or her, and that will be another factor in helping you retain. Really, just to sum up things, I don't think there's a shortage. I think there's a shortage of experienced people, and in order to attract and retain the experienced pilots, you need to pay them well and give them a good lifestyle balance. So that's all from Fab Poli at BizJet TV. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, do so, because we're posting lots of new content about private jets. And if you have any suggestions on videos or anything you'd like to hear about, please just ping below. And the other thing I'm thinking about is doing a live stream. So if you'd like me to do a live stream, please let me know below. Also the time, because obviously, you know, I've got followers here from all over the world, from India, you know, US, Canada, UK, Japan, really all over the world. So we need to sort of pick a good time for the live stream where I'd answer your questions live. That's something we're thinking of doing. So I need to know if there's enough of you out there that will be willing to be on the stream. And that's really all from me. So subscribe, like, and share these videos. And that's all from Fab Poli at BizJet TV. And I'll see you on the next one.